And a one fish, two fish. And a one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. One fish, two fish. And a red fish. Okay, I think that's looking good. Maybe a little like that. Maybe a little down a little like that. I'm slouching again. Maybe a little down a little like that. I'm slouching again. Okay, that's probably as good as I'm gonna get. Okay, that's probably as good as I'm gonna get. All right, Twitch is fine. All right, Twitch is fine. Let's go take a look at YouTube. Let's go take a look at YouTube. YouTube is. What are you doing, YouTube? Come on. Come on, man. There it is. I think I'm buffering on YouTube. I can hear myself on Twitch, I think, though. Let me just make sure I'm not talking on Twitch. And let's see if we can hear. YouTube is. What are you doing, YouTube? Come on. All right, YouTube's fine. Sort of. YouTube. I can hear myself on Twitch, I think, though. Let me just make sure I'm not talking. Oh, man. Latency. Sort of. YouTube. I can hear myself on Twitch, I think, though. Let me just make sure I'm not talking. Oh, man. Latency. Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get. Hold on. All right. So I can hear myself on YouTube. I can hear myself on Twitch. We're good to go. And hold up. Let's. I'm checking my emails. Sorry. Dum, dum, dum. Oh, I'm getting a. Hold on. I'll be right back. Let me see what this is. Hey, Charles. How are you doing? I got the email from a client, so I'm going to take a look at that real quick here. I will be back in a couple of minutes. All right. I think I'm back. All right, we are. I'm working on the barbarian outfit. I was doing fur, so I think I'm gonna try to add the fur to the Genesis 9 versions. I was doing the Genesis 8 versions, and I'm not sure if they're all working or not because fur is finicky. And then we'll go work on the axe. I need to get the axe done for this outfit as well. So let's see where we were, or where I am currently with this. We are doing Genesis 9. And yo, Blue Mystery, how are you doing? I'm working on a barbarian outfit. I added the fur to the Genesis 8 version just earlier today. I'm going to double check that and see how it's working. The skirt was looking a little funky, but I'm not sure if it was actually being funky or if my Daz gets tired. So we're gonna load this in. We're gonna take a quick look at it. If it's looking okay, I will move on to the Genesis 9. If not, I'm gonna screw around with getting it to look okay for a little bit, and then we're gonna work on an X. So I'm doing fairly well. I just had one of my clients email me just as I was starting stream, and I'm hoping they can wait till 4, but we'll see. So let's get the boots on. That's the wrong thing. Furry boots with fur. There we go. So that's, and we're not going to be able to see this until I render it. So we got the cape with fur. We got the skirt with fur. That was rendering a little poorly earlier. And then I also have the top with fur. So let's see how we're looking here. I have noticed a tendency for my DAS to get a little wonky when trying to make fur. And now it's looking fine. Okay. So I think it's good. I think my DAS just got tired. It was not rendering the skirt. I don't know why these look different from this. It's all the same settings. It might just be the angle of the light, I'm thinking. Probably the angle of the light. So I'm going to go forward. We're going to add fur to the Genesis 9 version of this outfit. And it's D-Force. I'm going to simulate it, and then I'm going to render it again. Then we'll move on to doing the fur on the Genesis 9 version. This is actually D-Force fur, so that is something only DAS PAs can do, but there's like an intermediate step that everybody else can do. So we can go up to that, and then I can do the D-Force part. But if you do the stuff before that, you could actually make your own. You're always having problems with fur too? Yeah, fur is funny that way. But I think I got it working okay. I'm going to simulate. I want to see how it simulates. My only real problem is this fur on the top might clip the fur on the cape. I think I'll note that in the README file. And I've actually turned off the simulation settings for the fur. Even though it's D-Force fur, it really doesn't need it. But I saved it with that as an option anyhow, just in case somebody really, really wants it. So it's no reason not to include it, because it's fairly easy to set up. So we're going to do this. Did my phone make a noise? My phone did not make a noise. I think there was a second email though. Let me. Oh, that's just attachments. Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why the cape. I like the cape. I mean, it's okay, but it's doing something. And if I copy and paste the settings, it doesn't really change it. And these are more or less the same as this. Although the cape is a little bit different than this. I don't know. I'll experiment. You can see more of the under cape in here, I think. Anyhow, that seems to be working okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to save this as a outfit preset. So I'm going to put the bracers on. And then we'll save this as a wearable preset, which is basically Feral Fury with outfit with fur. So we'll save that as a wearable preset. So it's basically going to be the outfit, but with fur and cape, boots, skirt, top, bracers. Cape should be a no. That's fine. And we're going to make sure the feet are posed for the boots. So we'll make sure to add that in here. And there's the foot, and over here is the right foot. Okay, that's good. I can, once this comes back. Oh, by the way, happy National Pineapple Juice Day. I'm pretty sure the Dole Company got that one made. There's probably a Pineapple Day too. But that's generally how most national days work, right? Some sort of niche um, corporate group or something wants a little more marketing attention. Yo, there's the Blux. No, no, no. We're gonna go away. All right, so we're gonna do this for the Genesis 9 stuff. I haven't made my thumbnails for that yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna load in. I'm gonna get rid of that because that's garbage. Or I'm gonna overwrite it. I can just delete it. Anyhow, I need a pair of boots in here. I need the bracers. I don't need the bracers. I need the bracers later. I need the cape. I need my skirt. Here's my skirt. I need my top. I need to set these up so that we have the fur texture underneath. Chris, when are you going to do tattoos? Oh, I'm not sure. I lost. Let's think about Thursday. Try to remind me on Thursday. And I'll have to look up the resources again. Uh, I know it's this type of Nordic alphabet that you put on a line, so I want to see if I can find a font for that without having to make my own. I don't want to make my own because I'm that lazy. There we go. Put the brown fur on. We'll start with the boots. So we're going to do a create new strand based hair. I'm going to say boots. Boots. I'm going to accept that. Okay, so I've done this a few times already, so this is going to go pretty quick. I have a material zone set up just for the fur, so we're going to click that. Come over here. I'm going to fill that in. Come over here. I'm going to adjust these settings to 50. I want these to be a little thicker at the base. And I want the length to be 1. Come into style. I'm going to use this curl curves. What it does is it kind of bends everything down, so I'm going to do that. That works out kind of nicely. We're going to do a lot of clumping. So I'm going to say 50 on that. This is the look I've been. I can tweak these later, but for right now, I'm going with these. All right, let's set up the material for this. That one right there. I want these to be white, and then I'm going to put a texture underneath it. And these will pull from the texture. So depending on where it lines up on the UVs is how it gets textured. At least that's the theory. It was 16th century Icelandic runes. Okay. All right. Let's browse. That's the fur right there. And I need to put that in the 4 spots. Fur base color. There we go. Did I not just say fur? I did. In it. And then Fury Feral Fury fur base color 1002 is the boot. Okay, that should be good to go. Did I not? I may not have selected what I wanted to select there. There we go. I think this is good. Now we're going to do the D-Force hair on the boot. So I'm going to select the boots. Actually, we select this. Come over here to simulation settings. This is the stuff that only PAs can do. So you can create up to here, and this works fairly well, but you can't D-Force it. So if you're trying to do D-Force hair, become a PA. Create strand-based hair, or convert to D-Force hair. There we go. I'm just going to make sure all of this is set up. Hair boots, hair boots. I want to use this Feral Fury folder. Me. Product is Feral Fury. D-Force hair boots. Good enough. What am I missing? Oh, I got to put something in here. Right. It needs a something. Except that should be good. So what should have happened is we go look at the boot. We now have this D-Forced hair. I can hide that, and we can now see our D-Forced hair. I'm going to do one adjustment to that. So let's do a quick render just to see if we're heading. Oh, I didn't do the testillation yet. But it looks. So we're coming along. Oh, you know what? I got to put a texture on those boots, don't I? I'm going to cancel you. Come over here. Let's select the boots and put a texture on them. Brown. There we go. And I'm going to switch that back to that overwrote what's there. So I'm going to switch you back to fur brown. There we go. And now I'm going to save the fur as a figure prop asset. That's the Genesis 8 stuff. So let's go over here and do this for Genesis 9. We're doing the boots. I'm just going to save. I'm going to save this a couple of times. Fur G9 is good. And I have to make sure that says hair. And that is me. That is the product. That's what we're calling this. Accept that. All right, should be good. You know, I still didn't do the testillation. I forgot to do in here line testillation. I want to set that to 3. Okay, now I'm going to resave this. I think my rendering may be borked right now. I don't know. Let's see. If it's borked, I'm gonna do them all, and then we'll close and reopen. Not borked. Okay, we're still good. Cancel that. Cancel. Cancel that. So did I can now delete that. I can delete that. And I'm going to reapply it. There it is. So I'm going to re-select my boots. Apply the hair. Is good. I'm going to make sure that this is fitted to. Do I have a Genesis 9 in here? I need a Genesis 9 in here. All right, let's put this on Genesis 9. The hair, the boots. Fit to. Genesis 9 favorites. There we go. All right, I got to repose the feet. Wrong thing. I need to save the feet as a hierarchical pose preset too. So let's do that. The easy way to do that, I'm going to expand this and we're going to select the toes. Actually from foot to here. But I don't need that shin. I don't need that thigh. I don't need those twists. Okay, now we're going to save this as an H pose. Hierarchical pose preset. I'm going to overwrite the Feral Fury Boots pose G9. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to right click and we're going to choose check only scene selected. That's why I went to all the trouble to select it here. And what that does, it's no matter what I have selected, it should change the, it still should pose the feet. And now I want to save the boots as a wearable preset. With the fur. So that's going to be boots with fur. And I don't need those eyes. And I do want to save the feet pose. So I can't do what I did with the H pose. So I have to kind of basically come down here and select these. There we go. And then we have to do we have all the parts in here. We'll do the cape next. And I'm going to copy the surface settings from this. And then we'll apply it to the other one so I don't have to go in there and change each one again. Actually, what I want to do is, you're still thinking, I want to set this to not be visible in the simulation for right now. By default, I've got the wrong thing selected. That one there. So by default, it's not simulating. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to do that. All right, we're going to resave the wearable preset. Boots with fur, there we go. And we don't need the eyes. I gotta make sure the feet are posed again. Okay, that should be fine. All right, let's do the, oh, you know what? You need a base material, don't you? I'll give you the base material, and I have to reapply the fur, and now we're good to go for this. Okay, the cape's a little wonkier because it's not actually a figure. It's just a prop floating there. It's actually parented to whatever, like Spine 4, I think it is. Okay, so we have you selected. So we're going to do create new strand based hair. I'm going to say cape for that and cape for this. And we just want it on the cape. So we'll do that. Come over here. I want it on the whole thing. You can paint where it goes, but what I'm doing, I'm just using the whole thing. So we just fill that out. Distribute. I'm going to increase that. Increase that. Put that down to 1. Move into styling. We use the curvy thing. Kind of bend it all down like so. Clump. And then should be good. All right. Actually, did I copy? I did not copy. Do I still have the other one in here? I have this one. I think I can just copy it off of that. So copy selected surfaces. There we go. And we'll go back to this. Paste is good. All right. Now we're ready to make a D-Force hair out of that. So we go to simulation settings, D-Force, convert, Feral Fury, me, Feral Fury, Feral Fury, and accept that. That went pretty quick. Okay, I don't think I need you anymore. So where's the D-Force hair? Is it attached to the cape? There you are. Okay, so what do I need to do here? Change the tessellation to 3. Should be good. I think I can now save that cape for Feral Fury. Make sure that says hair. Cape for G9. I think I'm good there. Okay, let's delete that. Let's reselect the cape. And cape for, I don't know, did that parent? That didn't parent right though, did it? That's okay. We can fix this. I tested this before, so this did not get parented, but we're going to parent that. Also, I'm going to take the cape and I'm going to parent it to this top, and then we're going to save that as a wearable preset. That one right there. We are looking for spine 4. Should be good. I did the tessellation. I did the paste. Let me check the let's check the surface settings. Because, I've been turning that simulation off. Okay, that's probably good. So the hair isn't dynamic, but the cloak underneath, or the cape underneath should still, and it still sticks to it. So I'm good there. I'm good with that. I'm going to add a preset that'll allow you to turn this back on, though. So if you really want to use it dynamically, there's a preset that lets you get into those settings. So I think this is good. I'm going to undo that, and then we can select you, and then we can save the cape as a wearable preset. And I'm going to say cape with fur. And we don't need the eyes, and I don't need to save any pose preset. And I'm saving the wrong thing. Let me cancel. Did I not parent you? What do I have selected in here? Where did I put the cape? You are on. Oh, you're on the eyes. Damn it. I need to delete those eyes. They're just confusing the heck out of me now. That needs to be over there. All right, let's try this again. Save you as a wearable preset. Cape with fur. Okay. And we don't need the boots, and we'll keep the cape, and we don't need to save any pose stuff for this. So that should be good. Okay, they don't need it. All right. All right, that's done. Moving on. Let's get the top done. And actually, you know what? I brought it in, not parented. I'm going to go ahead and put the top on the figure now. I'll parent you to Genesis 9. All right, now we're ready to go. So I was having earlier, I was having little problems with putting the front on the boots because the boots actually for Genesis 8 aren't in the same position by default as Genesis 8. And it was causing me some issues. When I realized that, I did it with it about being parented. But the rest of this, I think I can parent and get away with. Anyhow, we've got the top selected. Once again, create. So we're going to do this 2 more times. This one's going to be the top. Okay, same deal. So this is just going to go right here. Fill. I'm cranking that up a little bit, making that a little bit thicker, make them a little bit shorter. Use the little curvy thing, the curl thing, to kind of bend it all down. Do my 50% clump and accept that. Should be good, except I think I need to paste. There we go. Okie dokie. Now we're going to make dynamic hair out of that. Simulation settings. D4s. Convert strand-based hair to D4s hair. Top. Feral Fury. Feral Fury. Feral Fury. D4s hair top. Should be good. Back into the scene. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be bold and get rid of that. Now we have this. So we're going to tweak the line tessellation to 3. Should be good. Let's go check our surfaces. Okay, that got done. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the visible and simulation off. Then we save that as a figure prop asset. And we are on top for Feral Fury. Make sure you say hair. That looks Feral Fury top for G9. Accept that. All right, then I'm going to delete, reapply from the library. Double check, make sure that looks fine. And then save as a wearable preset. So top with fur. And I don't need the boots, but I do need that. And there's our... I probably should have had that say fur instead of hair. Oh well. I should delete the boots out too. I should delete the parts. Then we'll load them all back in, and then we'll save it out as the outfit with fur. All right, should be good. So I'm going to get rid of the boots. Going to get rid of the top. All right, we're going to. You know what? I don't need you. Let's put the skirt on. All right, and now we'll do the strand-based hair on the skirt. accept you. Oh, I think I have to redo this. I think my materials are wrong on here. Because I don't have a skirt rear. That's part of my problem. Okay, I gotta fix that. I forgot to save that. Right now it's, I think it's just skirt front. So I have to resave this, reload it, and then we can do the fuzzy bits. The fizzy bits. Let's see, geometry editor, tool settings. Is it a problem that I don't have that I didn't set up my material in the back? It's not a huge problem. Is that what you're talking about? It's just the way I wanted this to be a separate material from this, or separate surface. So, so I'm going to fix that real quick. And I got, so that was aborted. That's this. I want, see, what I want is a skirt rear, and I didn't create that earlier. So this is actually probably skirt front, right? Yep. So I want to select this part and make it its own separate face. I think to do that, I'm going to take the rear trim and hide it. We're going to hide the waist trim, which is this little line here. This is actually connected to the panty, so I don't want to, so I want to just grab this top edge. Jay's going to be on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, he's been on YouTube consistently every day since like last week. So I've been trying to pop over there and say hi. So hey, check out Jay on YouTube. I think the J command still work, or does probably not. My J command's broken. I haven't fixed it yet. Dang it. All right, I'm going to select this row. Geometry selection, select loop. I'm going to assign that to my new surface. Skirt rear. Going to accept that. Okay, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hide skirt rear. Then I can select this, all connected, and assign it. Then I can make that visible again. Make those visible. I'm going to reapply the materials. My map files are set up for a material back here to be called skirt rear. So that worked. So here, let's put the brown fur on. Oh, I forgot to do the brown fur on the top. I'll have to remember to fix that. All right, now we're ready to add the hair now that I fixed that. Now that we've got a skirt front and a skirt rear. And my brain stopped. I'm making hair, right? Create. New strand-based hair. This is going to say skirt. This is going to say skirt as well. One's the internal name and one's the user-facing name. They don't necessarily have to be the same. That's why it forces you to do it twice. I wish you just automatically would switch, but no. Okay, this should work. I should be able to get the skirt rear. I can't see anything. And the skirt front. And if we come over here, now we can see it. All right, I'm going to fill those. And same thing we did the other 3 times. Set you to 50.4. These are just the settings that I like for this particular outfit, so that's why. Curl that. Clump. And accept. Come over here to surfaces. So I want these two. We should be able to just paste. Should be good. Okay, so I should be ready to do the other thing. Make the deforced hair the PA only deforced hair. Simulation settings. Deforce. Convert. Skirt. Feral Fury. Feral Fury. Feral Fury. Should be fine. So I should be able to just delete that. Select that. Tweak the tessellation on that. And then this should be ready to be saved. Let's just double check the surfaces. I can tweak these later, but you know what? Since we're here right now, I'm going to turn the visibility and simulation off on those. Okay, save you. Skirt fur. Feral Fury skirt fur G9. Looks good. That needs to say hair. And accept that. Should be good. All right, delete you out. Select you. Reapply. I save it out, delete it, and then reapply just to make sure I'm not inadvertently saving with an embedded geometry in the one that's in here. So I'm making sure I'm using the one that got saved out as a support asset, figure prop support asset. So, I mean, it seems a little redundant, but it just prevents me from. There is a chainmail texture for it. You don't want to use that with the fur probably, but I did make a chainmail texture. There you go, chainmail. We got you covered. We got worn chainmail too. I also have a scale texture. And we have some basic leather. Then we have fur variations that go underneath. So I'm going to use these with the furs. So right now I'm doing it with brown and brown fur. That's where we are right now. Also, you can put a chainmail texture on the top, on the breasts. So you have proper chainmail bikini. Top with fur. No, I already did top with fur. Skirt. I want the skirt fur. I have the. There we go. Skirt fur is on. I think this is ready to just save as a wearable preset. Wearable preset. Skirt with fur. As opposed to skirt fur. Looks good. When this gets done, I'm going to delete this. We're going to load everything up. I'm going to do a quick render just to kind of see. Yes. You know, it comes with panties, but you know, Charles is going to hide those. There are. There's a. All right, delete you. Select you, and let's reload everything. Where's my boots with fur? There's my boots with fur. Bracers. I didn't put fur on the bracers. I sort of forgot. I was initially thinking I might put some on here, but after I did the bracers and then I was all done with them and then going, you know what? I didn't set up anything for fur. It'll be fine. Cape with fur, skirt with fur, top with fur. Let's do a test render. I'm not sure if this will render properly or not. Daz may be tired already. I've had this happen a couple times where my furs weren't rendering right like that. And the solution was just to close Daz down and relaunch it. So I'm probably good, even though it's not rendering my fur right now. So I'm going to stop that. We're going to save this. I'm going to turn Daz off, reopen it, and then we can try rendering again. So I'm going to save this as a wearable preset. This is going to be, oh, I haven't done the outfit yet, have I? This is going to be outfit with fur. Outfit with fur. Capes, and I got to do the feet. We got to pose the feet for the boots. Should be good. I'm having confidence this is working. And then when I'm done with this, we're going to pop over and work on the X. I have a little bit more I want to do in Blender, and then we got to texture it. And then we're probably not going to have time to set it up into the hands. I probably won't even finish texturing it. Anyhow, let's close you. Let's see if we can get it to relaunch. I don't think that worked. You know what? Here, let's launch the new. There's DAS 6. I'll test it in DAS 6. I have to take. I'm not doing any building in here, so I know it'll still work in. But just a little. Go away. Let's get you over here. Let's get my Jenny 9 in here. There we go. I'm in the wrong folder. Did I not set up? I thought I had my, I guess I have to set this folder up so I can go get stuff. Content Directory Manager. Apparently I hadn't linked this in over here on DAS 6 yet. It's over here in Fantasy. And there it is, Feral Fury. By the way, I noticed DAS 6 actually closes when you close it. I'm in the wrong folder again. I just noticed that today. I hit close and it was done. It went so fast. Maybe it's just because I don't have hardly anything in here. That might be it. So it didn't take forever to shut down. I think my default setting for rendering is the thumbnail size, so I'm going to tweak that. No, I saved it at 1200 by 1200. I didn't actually save it. It remembered. Oh well. Let's see how it's looking. I don't spend a lot of time with DAS 6. Just mostly I load stuff up just to make sure it's working okay. Hey, there it is. In our furry glory. It looks a little weird. It'll be fine. I'm going to run dforce and then I'm going to render it again. So even if the hair is set to not simulate itself, it still will follow the simulating cloth underneath it. Okay, let's check you. Now I have to make map files for all these different furs. I'm going to have 3 colors of furs. It'll be black, white, and brown. And then we have the worn versions. So it's dirty black, dirty white, dirty brown. You know what? That doesn't look too bad in there. And if you don't like the fur, it has the options to be used without it, of course. I think that's fine. The boots just look a little weird. I don't know. I can tweak these. I don't know if I can tweak these in here. I think if I remember correctly, the deforced furs, you have the options to be able to adjust the settings. Actually, in this surfaces, that may just be a PA option. So don't quote me on that. But if I come down here and turn that on, I think I can then adjust things like the clumpiness and stuff. I thought somewhere in here, do we have is it in structure maybe? What do I have for currently used? Oh, there they are. There's the hair density. There's my clumpiness. So if my clumpiness is looking weird. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to vary the lengths. I think I should have done that. So I may try to redo these. There may be a setting in here for me to vary the lengths, which might help a little bit with its look. Anywho, I'm done playing with that. What I can do is I don't actually need these fur files anymore because I've saved these as wearable presets. So I'm going to just move these out of here. So there's the boot fur. There's the cape fur. There's the skirt fur. And there's the top fur. So I'm going to cut those and move them. I'm not going to delete them now, but they won't be in the final product. I'm just going to put them over here for now. I just use those to save into the data folder. Um, there's the boot fur. There's the cape fur. There's the skirt fur. This is the G9 versions. Let's cut those and move those out of here. So these are just working files, and then this is basically what gets left in the product. And I still have to add X. We'll have a 0x, and then we'll have a X smart parented to either hand. And then I have to make a pose. So there's like 5 more things to add to this. Anyhow, I'm going to close that. I don't need to save that. I think I'm good. And we're going to play in Blender now, working on the axe. I was kind of done, but I decided I wanted to add a little something. So I've been using a little wrap utility for the wraps on the boots and the arms. I'm going to also use that on the axe. Wrap Master. I think it's node based. So I need my axe. Open recent. Axe. Don't save. There's the axe. So I want to, actually what I want to do is I want to make this narrower. And then I'm going to add a wrap to it. And I don't think I need That's probably fine. So I'm going to scale this, but not on the Y. So scale, shift Y. And I'm just going to... Oh, you went on the Y anyhow. What the hell? Scale, shift Y. Because I'm not oriented. I'm oriented local. Let's do global. Scale, shift Y. Scale, shift Y. Because I did... That's what I wanted it to do. Kind of wanted to get in there. Let's see if I can get Wrapmaster on top of this part of it. So let's bring this up and let's go to my asset browser. And there's this Wrapmaster right there. So I'm just going to... Oh, I'm in edit mode. Never mind. I'm just going to kind of get that dumped onto there, and then we're going to line it up better. That's probably a good start. Oh, and I can't use that in this version of Blender. Damn you! So I'm going to hit save. We're going to open up the 4 point something version of Blender, because this thing isn't working the way it's supposed to in the 5.11. So did I hit save? And I'm going to close you. And we're going to open up like 4.5 or something like that. 4.5, exactly on the nose. This is why we keep versions of old programs around, especially Blender and Marvelous Designer and Daz. I haven't been keeping old versions of Substance around. That hasn't been a problem yet. Fingers crossed. Now Adobe's going to fuck it up. File open. You're probably not in here, so I got to do this. Now there's the axe. It's whining about the version number or something, I think. Anyhow, let's try this. That looks better. So I'm going to roughly line this up. Then we're going to tab in. So this it has this cage which controls the shape of this thing. I'm going to kind of get you in like that. This. So I'm going to scale you, but not on the Y. Oh, you're just going off in a totally different direction. I should... I don't want all of that. I just want you, don't I? Control L. I think I'm doing median point. I am doing median point. Okay, scale, but not Y. That's better. You're running a little over. Okay, now we're going to adjust this. So we can get to it on the modifiers, and this gives us all our wrapping options. If I increase the length, I kind of want to do that so it kind of wraps around the whole thing. And then there's an option, snap to surface. I like that. Then we could say axe, and it does that, which is kind of cool. I'm going to tweak the settings on this. I think I want to make it a little narrower and a little less thick. If I do that. See if I can get that. There's probably an offset for that. Also, if we change the width down a little, and then I have to wrap this a bunch more. Maybe that's as far as it goes. You know what? That's probably going to be okay. Maybe a little further back. I take you back to here. Is that 4? Maybe right about in there. I think there's an offset for this that lets me. I'm going to reduce that. Layer push lets me expand that. I got a little bit of weird clipping here. I can manually fix that. I got a little bit in here. If I just, no, that's just a layer push. I need a little, I need a little bit of an offset on here. Is it on the snap? Oh, there it is. That's what I'm looking for. 0.005. I like that. Almost. I'm getting just a little bit of poke through there. 0.007. I think I'm going to adjust these to pull them out a little bit further. So I can come in here, just pull that. And then I think we can tweak you back a little bit. I think that'll look good. There's an underside we're going to delete after we, so at some point I can convert that to a curve. So I think I can tap out, Shift D, hide the backup, select that, and convert to curve. So I should be able to tab in, nope. Convert to mesh. That's what I wanted. Wrong thing. Did you not? There we go. There's an underside that we're going to get rid of. The easy way to do that is grab this edge and hide it. Now I can grab the underside and select all the connecteds and just delete those out. Alt H. Is Alt H not working? My reveal hadn't. Did I accidentally delete it? I think I may have accidentally deleted it instead of hiding it. I'm not seeing it. Alt H. I'm not. Okay. Apparently I'm accidentally deleting it. What the frick? Alright, I get plan B. Let's try this. Let me mark a seam. And then let me see if I can. Let's hide the axe for a second. Yeah, that's going all the way. I gotta find the ends. I see an end right there. Oh, and I didn't. So let's mark that edge. Let's mark you. And then there's there it is. It's right in here somewhere. I can't see it. Let's go to X-ray. Right there. Okay, I think that isolates. There we go. Now I've got just the bottom. Should be good. Maybe I was accidentally deleting vertices. That would have been bad. And I'm just going to call you grip. And I'm going to put a different material on here. All right, so what do we have? Grip wrap. Over here. Actually should not have so many W's in it. Axe. Wrap. There we go. Or maybe I just make that part of the grip. Probably would make more sense. Yeah, I think I might just do that. And where am I? Oh, I'm not. I'm separate object still. Now we're one happy family. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's see how we're UVing. I probably need to put some splits in here. Otherwise, that's going to be such a long UV island. See, this is all small because this one strip is running so long. So I'm going to put a couple of, we'll mark a couple of seams in here so it breaks up. All right, let's try this. That's getting there. Let's try Packmaster. That's much more efficient. Packmaster to the rescue. I'm going to put I think I'm going to put some sort of Celtic design on here. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do. I'll go look to the Celtic art pack. But so I think this is ready for texturing. And I have it in a zeroed position. Although I think maybe I'm going to want it back here a little bit. So the center of it sits right in here when you hold it. So let's make sure. Right about in here, I think. I was lining this up with a sword handle, so I think that should be about. That's a little bit wider than my sword grips tend to be. So I'm going to have to tweak the hand poses a little bit to fit that. So I think this is good. I'm checking my email to make sure nothing important's going on. So I had a client reach out to me, but then they said, nah, we don't really need that. Never mind. Disregard. Okay. Where were we? Oh, we're on this. This is ready for texturing. So I'm going to export this out and we'll get it in the substance and maybe we can load it in the DAZ. I'm not sure. Do I want to do black, white, and normal? I think I'm just going to do normal. Maybe we'll do a black and a white version. I don't know. I'm leaning towards just one. Anyhow, let's get this out of here. Export selected. Operation preset DAS. Veil Fury Axe. This isn't specific to G9 or G8, so I'm just going to say Axe. Selected only with materials. I'm going to do this twice actually. Let's save. And actually, I'm going to put this in the substance folder. And now we'll do the one with no materials for substance. And I just have to remember I got to get this out of the substance folder when I bring it into DAS. Okay, so that will save you. Close that. Pop over here to Substance Painter. Loading, loading, loading. Hello, Substance. Close that. Let's fit you so I can still see chat, and chat can see the whole thing. Let's make you a little. I don't know. Can I get away? I'm going to go with that right there. I will probably make this even smaller later, but for right now, new project. Select. Feral Fury Axe. No materials. That's the one we want. Let's bake our mesh maps. So this will bake the normal, the world space normal, the ambient occlusion, curvature, and position. Then I'm going to bake an ID map. But my settings are a little different for that one. So I have to bake it by itself. Did that bake? Did I get different texture sets for that? Is that what happened? Did you not? Did I not save a no material version? I thought I did. And it came in. Let's try this. Let's make sure this was. Oh, I saved my materials. There's my problem. Doy. I can see it generated separate texture sets, which we don't want. We didn't want it to do that. So let's reload this and rebake. Re-import mesh. It didn't like that. Let's try. All right. Let's try that again. Maybe I will do a black, white, and normal version. All right, new project, select, no materials. That's looking good. Okay, bake the mesh maps. Oh no, part of it's covered by chat. I'll fix that in a minute. We're in the middle of baking. I can't change it. Well, I could cancel it, but I'm not going to. Ambient occlusion and curvature tend to be the two that are slow to generate. It's currently still working on curvature. And then position will go boom. And okay, we're good. All right. Let's make the ID map so I can put different materials on different parts. And I like a nice tight cage to give me better fidelity on the ID map. I did, that went fast and I didn't see it. So let's double here. Let's pop over and start painting. Let me save you. File save as Fatal Fury Axe. Okay, now let's get some wood on the handle. Let's try this stylized wood. I'm just going to put this. Actually, let's just put it. There we go. Okay, so we definitely want to rotate that so the grain runs like so. So let's just do the rotation. Probably 90 or so. See, that looks better. All right, let's put steel. What's steel worn look like? I like steel worn. It doesn't actually look that janky or that dirty. So I'm going to go with that. It's got a little bit of character to it. Oh no, I got a little bit of weirdness in that blade. Let's re-import. Let's smooth that out. Let's take a look over here. Oh yeah, I do have some goofiness in there, don't I? Let's turn that off. Right there. What's up with that? I'm going to G-stretch you. And then I got to do this to the other side. You got a little pincheted. Here, we'll just G-stretch that to straighten it back out. Okay, I'm going to re-save no materials, and then we can just update. I hit the wrong button. There we go. No materials. And I should be able to re-import mesh. I got to rebake that though, don't I? Because I think... No, it looks like it's still... What do I got? Proportional editing or something going on in here? Oh no. I got a welded point in here. We can fix that. I'll have to rebake everything, but I think it looks like I somehow... Yeah, is there a way to... I either have to split that or delete it and rebuild. Is there a way to split points? I'm not seeing it. I think I had to just delete it. And then redo these. We'll put a sub D on those just to get me that extra point in the middle. Not sure how it pulled that off. Oh, you know what it is? I probably had that point too close to the middle when it was mirrored, and it ended up merging. That's probably it. Oops. All right, let's go take a look at UVs. Yeah, I have to redo that. All right, let's resave this a couple times and rebake. Do that one. Do this one. Over here. Okay, so that error is just left over from the baking mesh maps earlier, so we'll rebake those. Bake mesh maps. I'm going to redo the ID map. That's better. Okay, let's turn you off and let's redo the others. You can kind of see the flaw go away as it regenerates these. So that's curvature. You can see the error there. And then just as it goes to the next one, it flashes real quick. And we should see that flash away real fast before it quickly does the position map. There we go. All right. There's a little bit of a, but that's fine. And we should be able to come back to painting, and painting should regenerate back into looking good. All right, let's put a leather on here. There's a stylized leather that I was using on my other wraps, so I'm going to use that here. Leather stylized, we use that. That's the same thing I used for the straps on the boots and the armbands, so this way it matches. Oh, that back end is a little off. Why is that? Did it just, oh, it's because it's probably oriented. And I'm getting, oh, that's because it has a texture to it that does that. So because it's the same material, I'm going to use a mask this out, and then reapply the leather or the wood to this, and then reorient it to go that way. So I'm gonna start by duping this, and then I think I can just block out a duplicate layer, and then I can just, I'm gonna turn that off for a minute. I'm gonna put a white mask in here, and then I'm just gonna paint black in here so that it doesn't affect that anymore. So did I put my white mask? And then I need to add a paint to that, right? And then I can just do that. And then I can just bring this back, and then I can rotate it back to, it was night. So that does that. There we go. That looks fine. Oh, now I got this. I got a. So we have the wood texture, which actually kind of looks cool, but not what I wanted. So I'm gonna, and it's just the way the height map and the normal maps will blend through. So let me see. Am I using a normal map? I am now. No, normal. There we go. And then we're going to take the steel and we're going to set that up to be normal. And I can see the normal map splitting through. So we're going to set that to be, instead of this normal map combined or whatever, normal map detailed, we'll just set that to normal so that it doesn't blend. And then are you? See, you're looking fine. I've got something blending in with this though. Do it right. Oh, you know what? It's doing the same thing. It's blending in through here. I can see that, so I have to kind of do that as well. There we go. That's better. All right, I want to put a design on here. I think I'm going to do it with the pen tool because I can kind of. So let's go take a look at my Celtic. My Celtic clip art. I'm thinking I might want to make that edge a little harsher though. Let me see if I can fix that before I get too far. So right right through here. I think I'm just going to put a little, and then I also want that on the other side. I'm just going to put a little chamfer in there. I don't think I have to rebake my mesh map for that. And if I say 2, let's see how that goes. Do I want you to be F6? Materials off. Axe with no materials. Let's see if I can update if that makes a difference. Edit, re-import mesh. There we go. That does give me an edge. All right, now let's think about what I'm going to put in here. All right, now we're going to go take a look at our yada 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 Celtic clip art. So that's a relatively thin blade, so it shouldn't be grossly heavy. Still has probably got some good weight to it, you know, but not like 100 pounds of pure metal. Gonad the Barbarian would weld. Conan comic books always had these like inch thick blades with that double axe. It's like a 35-pound weight plate on the end of a stick. And yet the stick wouldn't break. um, that's not my Celtic clip art. I can never remember where it is. There's a. I've had these clip art CDs I got from Dover many years ago. And the terms of usage said I can use up to 3 per project. So I still kind of using them today. Here we go, images. So this is from one of the Dover clip art books for Celtic art. And I'm just going to come in here, and I think what I might do is put a curve design along the blade and maybe use something like this. So I might put something in here, and then I might put a round in there. We'll see. And I saw a curvy pattern I was thinking of using, if I can find it. So the idea, this thing here. So what is that? That's dogs. If we can find a round dog thing that kind of has that style. So not black, but kind of outliney, but in red, but round. Although I might just put something like that in. But we'll see what we have. I like this, and I can use that with a pen tool. We'll need to tweak that just a little bit. We have to invert it so that we can use it as an alpha. That might work. That's kind of roundish doggy thing. Kind of matches that. So if I put this, so it kind of, this kind of is along the blade, and then we can kind of put that in here. So let's start with this. Let's open you up with Photoshop and invert you. Open Mint, Photoshop. Okay, Control I. Thank you for your useless information. There we go. I'm just going to make sure that my black is actually black and my white is actually white. Say okay to that. And then file save as a copy. And you know what? I'm just going to do that 94 copy. We'll save that. Save. And let's just take you down a little. And also, I might as well, since we're photoshopping, do this one. Open with Photoshop. All right, Control I, Control M, just to make sure blacks are black. You can see they're a little off. Make sure the whites are white. All right, send this out. Save as a copy. Okay, probably good with Photoshop for now. File, import resources, add resources. I have no idea where that folder was. It's on the H drive in a file called clip art. Right here. I'm going to copy this. And then I can come over here and just paste that in there. And now we're in the right location. And we'll just scroll, and I'm going to grab both of these. And let's select both of those, and I'll say Celtic so I can find it later, and we'll call you guys alphas. Import them. This one I think I can just kind of drag and drop. And can I just use that as a mask? And then we can kind of scale that around a little bit. And probably, are you going to go all the way through? Maybe you're just going to go all the way through for me. What a deal. And then this, I don't want to color, but I'm going to use a height map. Actually, I might put you know what, I'm going to use a little bit of color. I'm going to just darken it a little bit. I should have done this with something I was working on earlier. So we'll make that black. But what we really want to do is we want to just punch and do an engraving with it. And then over here, the base color, I'm just going to dial that back so it just shades it out a little bit. It's much more dramatic in here than it will be in Daz. And then let me take that other thing and see if I can kind of get it around through here. And I might have it overwrap and then we'll kind of trim off the edges or something. We'll see how that works out. So I'm going to do that with a pen layer. And we'll use a 3D pen. And I'm just going to do, I don't know, a line dash. What options do I get for this? I'm kind of do the same thing. We'll make you black. We'll do the height map. I'm going to drop you into the alpha. Okay, now we're going to tweak that so it follows path and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. Is there a tiling option in here somewhere? Tiling mode, none, so it does that. I think if I set the projection on this right, so we're stretched out. Let me see if I can, so if we make it wider, it should, in projection depth, are we projecting through? We are projecting through, excellent. Stroke width, let's adjust the stroke width so we can kind of get it back to its normal. And I don't know, do I want to, you know what, I think I'm going to mask off the end of that. So maybe I'll do the same thing here. So I'm going to put a white mask on here like we did before. I think I'm going to make that thicker and we'll re-import it so that it has kind of a line thickness closer to this. But what was I doing? I was going to put a white mask on here. And then I'm going to add a paint layer to that. And then I'm going to just adjust this. Kind of do that. Oh, my phone made a noise. Hold on. Okay. I don't like that. I'm going to redo it. I think I'm going to try to get it closer to the edge. I think I'm going to pull this back a little bit so that we're not clipping the dog so much. And then I think I'm going to draw a little line in here. And then maybe, and I don't know if that's bleeding through or not. That's not bleeding through, so I have to paint the other side. Okay, let's tweak our path a little. And then I think I'm just going to draw in here with just the paintbrush set to black. And so what do I have my normal? I haven't tweaked the color on that, have I? Let's set you to 20. So I can kind of do this. I'm gonna re-update that too. I'm gonna make that thicker. Let's put another paint layer in here. Let's just do normal. I'm gonna do the same thing. We're gonna set you to black. And we'll do the same thing with the height map. And I'm just gonna make you kind of small. And just kind of pull you maybe a little smaller. Pull you through here. Kind of close those edges off so it looks a little more finished. I think it's still a little. God, it looks so small. You draw so big. Hold on a second. All right, we're getting. I think I'm going to get this finished up. Hold on. I'm typing in the wrong spot. Damn it. The horrors of texting. All right, let's do kind of the same thing. So that looks kind of finished. And we'll do the same thing over here. Like that. Okay, let's pop back into Photoshop, touch that up. I think, you know what, I'm probably gonna, we'll export out these textures and we'll dump it in the DAZ real quick and then we'll call it a day. So anyhow, I want to make you a little thicker. So let's just select all the white. And let's make the selection a little whiter. Select expand. Modify expand. Modify expand. And let's not do 50. Let's try 5. Let's try that and see how it works. We'll fill. File. Save as a copy. Replace. Say okay. Put that down. Can I just update you in here? I don't think so. I think I have to hide it. Hey, Murga, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I made an axe. This is part of the barbarian outfit I've been working on. I'm I'm going to make this a little bit thicker, and maybe I'll move it down into here a little bit. So I think I'm going to lose that. I'm going to, can I just re-import, reload that, put that in here as a mask. We'll rotate it a little bit. We'll scale it a little bit. How you doing, Emerga? We'll move that a little bit. Scale it a little bit more. Move that a little bit more. Okay, I think, so we're going to make that black. You know what? That still isn't looking thick enough. Let's try that again. All right, we need you to be thicker. Select, modify, expand. I don't know. And then let's fill that. And then let's save. File save as a copy. I think I overwrote the original. Oh no. Save as. I did overwrite the original. Oh no, I'm going to have to. I've got copies of that floating all over the place. I have at least 2 other directories with the same thing. All right, let's try. Reload you. Doing well. Spent most of the day under your sink trying to change the faucet. Oh, I've been there and done that. I had a drain pipe in the kitchen sink just completely corrode out once upon a time. That's always a good time. All right, let's put you in there. Let's make you black. I think that's going to be good enough. Let's do a height map. Let's group these 3 together. And then I can dial back the base color a little bit. Because I want to just kind of tint it. And I want most of it to come from the bump map. So I think I think I'm good to save this and get it into whatchamacallit. So let's hit save on this. And I'm going to just do a Control-Shift-E. And we're just going to do 5 channels. Just the regular 5 channel because I don't need anything else. No UDIMs going on here. I'm just doing my default 4K export, open, grab all of that. Let's save this somewhere. You know what? That's probably close. Runtime, textures. Oh no. Oh, I know what it did. Why is there a Chris Cox folder? It's because I was saving fur earlier, and it went to the Chris Cox folder instead of into here. That's fine. I need a folder here. New folder. Feral Fury Axe. Paste that there. We're going to load this in the DAZ and get these textures on here and then call it a day. I just want to see how this is looking in DAZ. You know, because DAZ and Substance really don't look alike. Even though they both claim to have iRay. Just different ways of doing. All right, where is the import? Where'd the axe go? Actually, oh, that's right. I put it in the substance folder. There's my axe. All right, apply a generic shader. And then I'll do a little some dragging and drop scheme. Base color, metallicity, roughness, height map, and a normal map because I'm obtuse that way. And then let's see how this is rendering out. And with this, we're going to call it a day because it's just a minute past 4. All right, I'm getting my, I can see my pattern in there forming. Are you done already? Wow, that was fast. I might make that a little shallower, and I might make the color a little darker. So we may, I'm going to tweak on that. Oops, chat went away. There's chat. Anyhow, it's coming along. It's looking nice. Let's get the rest of the barbarian outfit in here and call it a day. So the barbarian outfit is looking kind of like this. We got fur on it now. And now we got our axe. And barbarian outfit. Hopefully this renders. Yeah, maybe a little less shiny. That was supposed to be a worn steel, by the way. I'll use a different steel on that, I think. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this, but I'm going to use it with a white version, which will have a white hat, which will, be basically a white and white grip with a bright shiny. But for the default version, my fur really looks different on that cape now. It could just be from the lights, but I don't know. There's just something about that cape. Anyhow, that's where we are now. My feet are vanishing into because it's rendering the ground. So worn, it's polished and so shiny. Exactly. I will go polish my blade on the bodies of my enemies. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. We're going to call it a day here. Good progress coming along with this thing. Let's take a look. Hey, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, feel free to stick around. We're going to go find somebody else to hang out with. We'll see if any of the art friends are on, and barring that, we'll look for somebody else. Let's do that. Who's on Twitch? I got 4 viewers, it says. Charles, Emerga, Napsmore, and a bot. maybe Blue's still around. Blue Mystery, maybe Blue Mystery still hanging out some here. I see Lady A3 is on, and Tiny Painting Desk is on. Let's see who's doing what. Lady A3 is doing art. Tiny Painting Desk is doing art. My friend Johnston, you know what? Secret guest, Supreme Doom is just going live, I believe. She's been on for full 2 minutes. So I can get in there and get out before she has to show my stuff off. um, you know what? Let's go over and say hi to Lady Aethria today. It's been a little while since I've actually. And Strange Lemon. Actually, Strange Lemon, I like them too. They're doing crafting. Strange Lemon art. But I think I'm going to take you over to how long's Lady A been on? Lady A's been on 1 hour and 15 minutes, and she's doing a frog. Let's do that. Let's say hi to Lady A today. Thank you all for being here. Hey, I've got a Discord. Feel free to join. I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to buy. And we do have raid calls if you can stick around for the raid. I am not a subscriber raid call, but that's fine. Feel free to use that. But if you are a sub, you get to use the special sub emotes with the sub raid call. And with that, I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We may still be working on this, or I may be working on. I'm kind of thinking tomorrow night we'll be working on the graduation gown, and we'll be working on that. What do you call that? The mortar cap or whatever that they wear on the tops of their heads with a tassel and things. So that's the tentative plan for tomorrow, but it depends on how far along I am with this. It's kind of driving me crazy the difference between this, and they were done the same way. So I don't know. It could just be the lighting, but I don't know. I don't know. I might be able to live with it. We'll see. I'm going to play with this. I'm still not exactly happy with how the fur is looking. I might dial the clumpiness back off a little bit on that. Anywho, let's go over and say hi to Lady Ray. 8th year, let's do this raid thing. Hey, if you're on Twitch, did I already say like and subscribe YouTube? That would be awesome. If you're on Twitch, stick around. We're raiding. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that over here and start the raid. So anyhow, I appreciate everybody being here. I hope you all have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And with that, hasta la vista, baby.